Hey, good evening everybody. A little bit of a garden update here. This is my... I had a shed here that got blown down in a storm last year. So it was a good tilled up piece. I threw in those potatoes, those early potatoes and some onions. I'm hoping to start digging a few of those in 2 weeks. This is my cucumber trellis. I'm going to try to grow some cucumbers that climb. And I threw a few pole beans in there. I know they'll climb. I wanted something to climb on it. And the flowers, marigolds there, I guess they are. I'm not real good with flowers. This is the first time I've tried this. They're to try and keep the bugs out. Hopefully they work. They're looking a lot better. Those cucumber plants are really looking a lot better. I had to replant. I lost my first ones. I don't know what happened to them. They got some kind of a blight. It killed them. And I got this raised bed here. Everything's coming good. That cherry tomatoes actually got blossoms. That one's got a couple. That's a regular tomato. There's some basil in there. Some lettuce. Lettuce is ready to eat. Some peppers. Those are the 4 hot peppers. I don't plant a lot of hot stuff because I don't like it. That's, you know, I like just a little. I don't like a lot of heat in my food. That's a raspberry patch. There's going to be some on it this year. I'm going to dig that up. They're getting so thick, they're getting choked and not producing. So I'm going to take half of those and move them at least. I got this raised bed here. Got spinach in this one. One beet. I don't know how that got there. Those are elderberry trees. Kind of hoping they take over when they get rooted in, let them go. I replanted radishes again in there. This is actually the 4th planting. I have a small row of radishes there coming up. Don't know if you can see those yet or not. This is the rhubarb. We put this in this year. It's coming nicely. I'm actually thinking of using some of it. I'm going to get some strawberries and make me a nice batch of strawberry rhubarb jam. This is the big raspberry patch here. You can already see those stinking fantails are in here. Peas are coming along nicely. What few the woodchuck left me. You can see the video of where he left. Row of potatoes there. They're coming along nicely. Another part row of potatoes. There's tomatoes. Some more spinach. Those bean plants over there, they're soldier beans. I can actually buy them cheaper than I can grow them. There's beets. I am starting to get a few pods on the peas now. Berries, which is early. They're starting to ripen. Over here I have zucchinis, some winter squash. I gotta get in here and weed these. They're doing well. I weeded them about 2 weeks ago, and I gotta get back here again because I can grow weeds. Down on that end, that's that stinking nuts hedge. This garden's got my corn. It was just so wet. Some of it didn't come up. And beans. You can see I got a lot of birds around here. That's a robin there. They're not terribly destructive to things, but they have pulled some stuff. I put in this year 2 plants. They're looking good. Once again, there's some weeds. There's a couple cucumbers there that I put in. I don't know if you can see them or not. There's one. There's the other one. I got a couple pole beans over there that are coming. I got to get a pole for them set in. Maybe tomorrow. Some seeds in. And that one's going to make it. That one. That one. And there's some pole beans over there that look to me like they're going to take off. That'll be good. And there's one over there in the weeds, but it's hard to see. This is where we caught the woodchuck. I still left it set with a couple dog cookies in it in front of this old shed. Pole beans are coming up nicely. There's some mint. I can't tell you what that is. My wife bought it. Those are Johnny Jump Ups. I've always liked them. That's apple mint and dill, which I think will really take off right off quick. These are the chickens. I just fed them. That's why they seem to be well entertained. I'm hoping that 2 weeks is what the date and plan is for butcher if all goes well. They're at 6 weeks as of last Thursday, and I'm planning on 8 weeks. I keep them moving, keep them up and moving all I can because I don't want the ones to die. They get lazy. Let's have a little exercise. Come on. This is my last tomato patch here. Once again, the flowers were planted for bug control. That's a row of pole beans. The woodchuck wiped out once. I replanted. And they're coming back, so hopefully we get something there. I got to get over here and weed those. This here is kind of a mess, but the reason that I am showing this is there's some nettles right there. I'm glad I didn't kill them now that I know how beneficial they are. I actually have eaten those. They are good. They're not bad. They're great in iron and stuff. And there's catnip that has just come up on its own. I didn't weed it. That makes a tea. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm gonna. That's Queen Anne's lace. That's a real good plant. That has come up on its own. Oh geez, I can't think of the name of this stuff. It has a very nice fragrance. My wife hates it. She wants it gone. This was actually her flower garden at one time. And she has the roses. And I didn't mow those because I'm hoping to set them in somewhere around here. It's pretty much a herb garden. That's the sativa. My wife wants to use it as a sugar replacement. See how it works. It's doing well. It's spreading out. Of course, we have 6 more basil plants here. I harvested some today lightly. That's my old chive plant. I've had that for years. I had it on the barn over there, and I moved it over here this year. And there's thyme, rosemary, sage. That Brussels sprout was brought over here because the woodchuck was he really liked those. And that was the last one. So I dug it up and I put it in a pot. I brought it over here, away from close to the house. These here are scallions. They don't seem to be doing anything. And that's another rhubarb that I started off rhizome, I guess you'd call it. Are the 2 strawberry beds I put in this year. The birds are just getting them all. I'm not gonna this year bother with the netting. There's so few berries. They should have been picked anyway. They shouldn't have been allowed to be on there. This year, the first year, you should pick the berries to get plant growth, but I wasn't real worried about it. I said, well, if we get a couple to eat, that's good, but the birds aren't going to let that happen. And here is the last little garden. There's some Swiss chard, and those were peas. I just replanted them tonight. The birds have got them all. I popped a couple birds, and I'm going to put up some metal pans and stuff out here and see if I can't keep them out. Same with the beans. You can see right there. If you can see that little stub right here, they just pull the leaves off from them and it kills the plant. A couple rows of corn. Did the same thing with some of that. Got pulled. I'm gonna have some cucumbers over there. Row of radishes. And a little lettuce put in these smaller parcels because I don't like to weed. And by having these smaller parcels, I can come over here. Now I came over to this one. I've been here about 25 minutes, and I've weeded quite a bit of it with the hoe. And it doesn't seem like the end of the world. When you have just one big garden and you're out there pulling weeds, it blows me away, and I don't do it. This, I seem to like I like the raised beds. Those are gonna have straw anyway for the berries next year. This year I want them to throw some runners, so I didn't put it in. But next year I'm gonna put the straw right in and build a bird netting over each of them to keep the birds out. Anyway, tell me what you think.